Hey guys, what is up and welcome to a new episode of the Did You Know series, this episode featuring Twitch. If you do end up enjoying this episode, don't forget to throw in a like, and without much further ado, let us go straight into his abilities. Twitch's passive can be removed with Quicksilver Sash, however it will not work with Cleanse. His poison passive also counts as poison for Cassiopeia's Twin Fang ability for some unique synergy. His passive will not apply the stacks if he auto-attacks Jax while he's dodging, Teemo when he's blinded, but will work if he attacks Pantheon while he's blocking or Fiora while she's parrying. Taking damage while trying to stealth will greatly delay the stealth effect, however, taking damage while you're already in stealth will not unstealth him. As a small trick, you can use Recall or Teleport just after activating Ambush to go into stealth while channeling the rest of the effect. While you are stealth, using a potion or placing something like a ward will not cancel the stealth effect, but activating items or using a spell will cancel it and bring you out of stealth. Using Ambush and then Zhonya's will not cancel stealth, which means that right after you get out of Zhonya's, you'll instantly go into stealth mode. Spell Shield can block Twitch's W and as well his E, but not his passive nor his ultimate. Venom Cast can reveal the area in which it is cast, which does include bushes. Contaminate's damage is dependent on your passive stacks, but it will not remove the stacks applied once you do use Contaminate. The range of Contaminate is slightly longer than the indicator shows. This is an important thing to remember. Twitch's ultimate applies on-hit effects, which of course does include critical strike. And if one of the, for example, 5 targets gets critically striked, then all 5 targets will also get critically striked. His ultimate can outrange turrets, which is very useful for sieging and getting free damage on the structure. Runaan's on Twitch does not apply per target hit with his ultimate, but rather per auto attack that Twitch does, making it work as it would with almost anyone else. However, it still gets the range increase thanks to his ultimate. Alright guys, let us jump into some cool facts and lore about Twitch. Twitch was designed by Guinsoo, who also made champions such as Alistar, Annie, Ashe, Karthus, Twisted Fate, and many more. Twitch's inspiration could have come from the Skaven race from the Warhammer franchise, which is a race of anthropomorphic rats. Medieval Twitch resembles this further. Twitch's title, the Plague Rat, could be a reference to the bubonic plague, which during medieval times killed millions in Europe and was transmitted by rats, but more specifically, the fleas on the rats. Once a target gets 6 passive stacks, a big X is shown above them, which may refer to how infected houses during the bubonic plague would be marked with an X on the house's door. Twitch's ultimate got renamed to the Rat-tat-tat-tat, which can refer to either the Pokemon Rattata or the sound people use to describe a gun firing, specifically the AK-47. Let's go into Twitch's old lore, since his new one is just a report from some incident that Twitch apparently caused. It mentions how Zaun is very polluted due to the factories and labs, but the subterranean levels are even worse, and from the toxicity below, a plague rat rose from this nightmare, Twitch. He was more evolved than his cousins and ended up joining the League to represent being the only one of his kind. Zaun became his benefactor, and from this he fights for Zaun whenever political disputes happen. Twitch mentioned that his goal is to gain enough influence and material to recreate the process that made Twitch what he is now. Twitch's quote, "Boop," may refer to the internet image marker of an animal touched on their nose with the text, "Boop." Twitch has quotes towards Singed, which reference an unofficial rule of the game, which is not to follow Singed when he has his poison on, even though everyone tends to do it anyways.
I have this uncontrollable urge to follow you.
His other quote,
I hear you're trash. Bow before your king.
Might refer to Doublelift and how he always calls everyone trash. Twitch also has several quotes whenever he walks into a Caitlyn trap.
Ow! That almost caught my tail! This is entrapment!
He also has a specific quote whenever he taunts Leona.
The only thing the sun's good for is what it does to milk.
And one for Janna.
Stop moving my stench!
He even has a quote specific to Zac.
I thought this place could use a little gooping up.
The new Twitch also has specific quotes whenever you buy an HP or mana pod.
You drink this?
And a quote whenever you buy the item Last Whisper.
My last whisper will be street bacon.
And whenever he buys a ward or places one.
I need these for my stash. Trespassers will be gnawed.
Whistler Village Twitch is him dressed as a biathlon player, and it was played in the Whistler Olympic Park in 2010. Gangster Twitch may refer to the Toon Patrols from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, or James Cagney, who is known to portray gangsters and use a quote, you dirty rat, or even Pinestripe Potu from Crash Bandicoot. He shares the Mafia theme with Mafia Graves, Misfortune, and Jinx. Medieval Twitch was conceived by the first two people who got 350 friend referrals, who went by the names Grez and Grayer Wolfwood. Vandal Twitch shares a theme with Vandal Brand, Gragas, Vladimir, and Jax. Though it is somewhat unsure if Jax is truly part of this skin theme. Alright guys, that unfortunately does mark the end of this episode of Did You Know featuring Twitch. If you did enjoy this episode, please don't forget to throw in a like and maybe share it with your friends. I'd also really much appreciate it if you guys can follow me on my Facebook and Twitter fan pages, both Redmercy LOL. And check out my sponsor Skins for All for the cheapest and rarest skins for League of Legends, where you can use the code Redmercy for a 3% discount. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode and I hope to see you next time. Peace!